Summoners War Update 715 is here. We have the brand new Puppeteer monster skills. We have some quality of life improvements. We have some new events. Some new events. We get extra mystical scrolls. That's a new event number 1. Well, we did also just get another new event as well. New monster update event. You just summon scrolls. You get points. You know, you get monsters, get points, and then you get more scrolls from those points. Big surprise. Well, we've had these events before. This is what we all care about, is the new Puppeteer monster skills. We want to know if they change the meta at all, if they have some new mechanics. The fire one didn't really have any new mechanics, but we want to see if the rest of them have new mechanics. I already took a look, so I already know what the answer to that is. We also have quality of life improvements, which for many of you, I'm just gonna spoil it right now. For many of you, you're not gonna notice the quality of life improvements before to after. I'm just saying. Some of you will notice, some of you will just, they'll be like, oh, was there a quality of life improvement? It's filler. Some of this stuff is just filler for these updates. The real thing that we care about is the new monster, right? So we already took a look at the fire Puppeteer. I'm going to call it Puppet Master so many times, guys. I'm just letting you know. In the next couple weeks, couple months, whatever, I'm going to just keep calling it Puppet Masters. Horse Rider Puppet Skill 1. So I know a lot of people are commenting this is not as good as the Oracles. Oracles have to crit, though. This one doesn't have to crit. It's just there's no condition. So you could use this against Kinkies. It's just a small use case. You could use this against Kinkies and still get the attack bar. Oh, really? You could use this against Ragdolls and Artemils and still not have to worry about putting crit rate on slot 4 specifically to keep cycling attack bar. So there is that added bonus there. So keep that in mind. Because I know a lot of people are just like, oh, it's not as much as the Oracles, but you don't have to actually crit. So there's that bonus. Cursed Apple installs a bomb, detonates for 2 turns on the enemy target, stuns 50% chance, and then Cycle of Eternity. So this is a couple of the other ones have the bombs as well. And then Cycle of Eternity attacks all enemies to remove beneficial effects, blocks them from removing harmful effects for 2 turns. Really, these strippers, sometimes one is the best for the job, sometimes another one's the best for the job. I know people comparing him to Gianna. I think I compared him to Gianna as well. Sometimes it's best to have something like Gianna. Sometimes it's best to have something like this one, Cycle of Eternity, which can potentially the opponents can't cleanse the debuff. So if you strip and then you put a bunch of debuffs on, you have that block cleanse debuff, so you can't I mean, we have that on Beth as well, we have that on Bale as well, but not like anyone's really using them like crazy, including myself. I mean, like I really like Beth, but I kind of miss her heal block, to be honest. So yeah, I feel like I miss her heal block more than the thing that's on right now. Anyway, we already know what's the fire one. Water one is support. So this is an attack type unit, of course, has the bomb. Which good that it has a bomb and is an attack type unit. At least they got the skills right. Thank you, Com2us. Horse Rider Puppet attacks the enemy. It's the same skill as the other one. Improvise. So this is the second. This is the alternate skill 2 for these units. Decrease skill cooldown time of the ally target by 1 turn and increases the ally's attack bar by 50%. Isn't this like the light totem has this, right? Well, light totem got changed actually. Man, I already forgot what the light totem got changed to in the last balance patch before. Man, I don't remember anything about light totem. Come to us, give me a light totem. So, no, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke. Yeah, I mean it's okay, but it's not anything game changing, right? Decrease skill cooldown, unless we don't know what the skill cooldown on it is, because this could potentially be pretty ridiculous with turn cycles, and if this is like a low cooldown, right? So we'll see what the actual cooldown on this is. There could be some nasty combinations here. And then we have the attacks all enemies increase their skill cooldown by 1 turn each and freezes them for 1 turn. This kind of reminds me a little bit of Ganymede. This is a little bit Ganymede-y. So it's a little bit Ganymede. That's the closest thing that I can think about is increase their skill. It's AoE. It's an AoE freeze. And increase skill cooldown. So it's not just one unit. I mean, it's kind of Shungpungi Ganymede. But, you know, the skill 2 improvise. That reminds me of Ganymede a little bit. You don't get the full cooldown decrease, but who knows what the cooldown time on that skill actually is. So I guess we'll see soon enough. Maybe by the time that you're watching this, you already know because it's already out in the game. So the update's already out. that you can download from the app stores, but it's not actually, like, this stuff isn't actually pushed into the game just yet at the time that I'm recording this. So then we have the wind attack one. Oh, excuse me. Cursed Apple, which is the bomb. And then Ventriloquism passive decreases the attack bar of the enemy with the highest attack bar by 20% at the start of each turn and silences the enemy for 1 turn. It's an interesting different mechanic, right? You can't be like, oh, this is just like the other thing that's already in the game. I mean, it's similar to a couple different things here, but it's not like if they have immunity, then it doesn't matter, right? So if they have immunity, it doesn't matter. Silence is sometimes, like, if you're going up against things that have passives that really don't, like, the silence doesn't really matter too much. But it's just a 1-turn silence also, so they could just violent proc out of that. I don't think this is really ridiculous, especially considering how many strong wind units. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem that ridiculous. I still think that some of these seem better than the cookie monsters when they first came out. But I mean, depends on which cookie monster you're talking about. I still think they need buffs. I still think those cookie monsters. I mean, I don't think the cookie monsters, some of them need buffs. Some of them are not as good as they need to be for net 5s. That's straight up. And then we have the light one, the light female Phantom Thief. I should just call them female Phantom Thieves. Improvise decreases the skill cooldown time of the ally target. It's the same as I mean, it's really similar to Ganymede in my mind. Right, and then the Puppet Ball. This is the skill that they have that nothing else has. Removes all harmful effects on all allies. Increases their attack power for 2 turns. Additionally, increases their attack bar by 20%. So I mean, you could, depending on the base speed, this could be pretty nasty. Increased attack power, increased attack bar, and full cleanse. We know that we know that you can use this like Veligul like that, right? You can use Nemesis on Veligul. He cuts in and he goes nanners, or you could just use Swift on it, and you can run cleave teams with this. So really, this one depends on the base speed. The base speed could be potentially make this a pretty nasty unit. Like if this has like 110, 115 base speed, yeah. There's gonna, like, everyone that has this is gonna use it. If it has like a 95 base speed, then it's like, I mean, people still use it. Don't get me wrong, people still use it, but it's just that the base speed for this really matters. Base speed for things like Douglas don't really, or Antares doesn't really matter too much. Base speed for something like this really matters. And we have the dark one, another support. So there's 2 attack ones. And then 3 support ones. So this one is a bomb on a support unit, which is lovely. Means the bomb's probably not going to do that much damage. Marionette passive removes all harmful effects of an ally under inability effects at the start of each turn. Removal prioritizes the ally with the most harmful effects. So this is looking like this is going to be like a Rakuni passive, but it's not a heal. It's just every time dark female Phantom Thief, dark Puppeteer, dark Puppet Master gets a turn, it's gonna cleanse. I mean, it's basically a dark LD5 Rakuni with a bomb. That's what it is. It's just a dark LD5 Rakuni with a bomb. There we go. Then we have World Arena Season 23 schedule reminder, which is just what you guys already know about that. We got the new SP summons, which is just to be expected. We got the new battle training ground to take a look at these. I was going to say these guys. To take a look at these new Puppeteer units in battle. Gemstone improvements. It's just things probably some people are going to be like, oh, I like this little thing. But for a lot of people, they're just not going to even notice. Shop efficient, these new not new, these returning transmogs. My apologies. Returning transmogs here. Transmog pack, $30, you know the drill. This is kind of nice that we get a monster transmog access improvement, so you could transmog it from over here instead of trying to go to the transmog. Not that we're transmogging things all the time, but it's a little, the tiniest quality of life improvement. These are the things that are going to invigorate Summoner's War 8 years down the road. That little transmog button, they nailed it. Especially like improvements, matching queue function added, same as the ranking battle. Tap the battle star to activate the matching. You can use the non-battle content. I thought this was honestly already in there. Okay. Well, yep. How much I pay attention. Or actually, I don't even do other stuff when I'm queuing. I'm usually. That's not true. I do other stuff, but by other stuff I mean yell. I'm just that's all I'm doing is I'm yelling about the last match while I'm queuing for the other match. Anyway, quality of life improvements, monster collection search. This was supposed to be in the last one. They fixed it now. You can now search by the name of a monster that was previously unavailable due to the inclusion of prohibited words. Rune management, ratio of left area, rune management. Oh, this is just adjustments. Light mage skill balance adjusted. And then Siege Battle, just improvements here. Summon Special Pack. This is the important thing for them. Summon Special Pack, $70 pack. They always have to be new packs. There always has to be new packs. So, I mean, we have returning packs, and then we have... I mean, most of the meat of this update is just more packs, returning packs, and new monsters, which you have to... You know, for the most part, try to spend money. Well, not try to spend money. Many people will spend money to try to get. Are these new monsters game changing? Like, kind of the final verdict on these guys or these puppeteers, is that because they're not guys? Is that I was really hoping for. And I'm always hoping for this, is like a charm kind of mechanic where like you control your enemies or some kind of new mechanic into the game which changes things up and makes things more exciting. It's like, oh, the gameplay is different now because there's this new mechanic. So if you bring in some OP monsters, then your opponent could puppeteer them and take control of them or something. And that would be so cool, I think. And I think a lot of people may feel the same way. Because I know I watch you guys' comments. I just watch it. I don't actually read them. I just look at them. And I'm like, hey, those are some words. No, I read them. And I'm like, I know some of you guys agree with the whole charm, stealing, manipulation of your opponent's units kind of thing. It would take more... code. It would take, like, they would have to do a lot of testing, a lot of play testing, and I know that ComTours at this point in the game, they're not trying to give themselves more work. They're trying to focus on new games. They're trying to focus on the ComToverse. Remember, I'm gonna keep reminding you guys that's a thing. They're trying to focus on the ComToverse and NFTs and blockchain and all of that stuff. So they're not really trying to put a whole lot of work and effort into an 8-year-old phone game. That's just how it is. And I think that a lot of their effort now is going to go into Summoner. Maybe not a lot, but they're going to have more effort into Summoner's War Chronicles, I think, moving forward than Summoner's War Sky Arena. But I mean, they've been juggling a lot of games for a while, so it's not like this anything new. Like when Critica came out and when this game, Summoner's War Lost Centuria came out, they like split their focus, and they're just always splitting focus. But I don't know. I just feel like Summoner's War Sky Arena, for being their big cash cow, I always feel like it should get more focus than it actually does. Instead of just like these quality of life improvements and then new packs and returning packs that we've already had, but here's your chance to buy them again. Anyway, that's it for this one. I would have loved these units to have new mechanics. It's not that they're bad. They're better than the cookie monsters when they first came out. When they didn't get changed. They're better than the cookie monsters already. So they're usable. They're definitely usable units. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.